Tonight on CFTK-TV News, Kitimat City Council has approved multiple new bylaws. The provincial government scored a big win in their policing battle with Surrey, and a man needing a new kidney is getting help from an unexpected place.
Northwest BC's only television news team. We are CFTK-TV News.
Good evening, I'm Cale Baslett, and here's what's making news in the Northwest and beyond today. To begin, we return to the Terrace Fire Department to look at their training on how to use a different type of fire truck, as well as to learn more of their expanding ranks. As mentioned yesterday, the Terrace Fire Department got some new equipment to assist them whenever they need to perform CPR, but the Lucas automated CPR device is not the only new thing that the department has gotten as of late. Namely, they have recruited a pair of new guys to the firefighter ranks.
A couple weeks ago, we had two new full-time firefighters start. We have Shale Prinz. He's a Terrace resident. He was originally working full-time in Kitimat, and now he's starting with Terrace. The other new hire was Mike Kruger. He was also a full-time firefighter in Prince Rupert and made the commute to Terrace. So we're very excited to have both the new hires on the front lines and serving our community.
Both men are undergoing what has been described as vigorous training while serving in their first year of probation as they learn how to use a major piece of equipment owned by the Thornhill Volunteer Fire Department, known as the aerial ladder truck. Terrace Fire Chief Chad Cooper spoke of the importance on knowing how to operate the complex and expensive truck and what it's used for.
A couple times a year we do annual refreshers on how to operate their ladder truck. We use it to gain access to roofs if we have to do fire suppression activities on any of the high buildings on here. It's a way to get firefighters and equipment safely up onto the roof. We also use it for defensive operations. So if we have a large volume of fire and smoke, we'll set that unit up. We'll use an engine and we'll pump water through the tower and have basically a high point where we can spray down on a fire and suppress the fire and stop the horizontal exposure.
The eventual hope of the Terrace Fire Department is to get their own version of that type of truck, but for now the two departments will work together and use the already available truck when it's needed. For CFTK TV News, I'm Cale Baslett. At a recent special council meeting, the Kitimat City Council made the choice to approve multiple bylaws that are set to add to the strength of their tax regulations as well as their financial planning. There were 3 total bylaws passed, one known as the 5-year financial plan bylaw, which would set up the goals, policies, and projections for the municipality's brand new 5-year financial strategy. The second one is called the Residential Flat Rate Tax Amendment Bylaw, which amends the area's 2024 flat tax rate for residential properties at $723. And the final bylaw is officially identified as the Tax Rate Bylaw, and its main purpose is to solidify that any property tax rates must take the municipal revenue in a way that is outlined by Kitimat's financial plan. In a recent news release, it was revealed that Smithers Town Council is, albeit with some apparent hesitancy, giving the go-ahead to the town's Mainers Mall on Main Street to work on renovating the outer front of it. The building in question is used for the mall at 1165 and 1167 Main Street, is home to a couple different commercial businesses at the building's ground level, but also happens to be home to several residential units on its second floor. The changes that are expected to be made include the building's upstairs window getting new frames that will be made with some new siding, as well as the addition of a new cedar canopy to make pedestrian access to the building a bit easier for days when the weather is not as nice. In the tense tug-of-war between the province and the city of Surrey, a major victory was gained by the NDP as they tried to order the city to scrap their RCMP. The BC Supreme Court has dismissed Surrey's attempts to stop the transition to a municipal force. A court decision upheld the province's right to force the city of Surrey to transition to police from the RCMP. But as Rob Buffum reports, it seems the political battle is far from over.
It's a big win for the province in its battle with Surrey over policing.
This decision certainly indicates that, you know what, it's over.
The BC Supreme Court releasing its ruling today that rejects the City of Surrey's legal challenge and upholds the NDP government's order forcing the continued transition to Surrey Police from the RCMP.
Obviously a huge relief for the people of Surrey who just want this done. I want this done. Everybody wants this done.
Well, not everybody. Certainly not Surrey's Mayor Brenda Locke, elected on a promise to resist the transition and keep the RCMP.
The fact is, the court challenge has revealed huge holes in this transition to the SPS.
The political battle has brewed for 18 months, Locke rejecting offers of financial help from the province as inadequate, claiming the transition to Surrey Police will cost up to $750 million more over 10 years. She noted today's ruling confirms the move to police will cost more than RCMP.
And the true costs will have an extremely onerous impact on the City of Surrey and especially on Surrey taxpayers.
The Surrey Police Chief and some councillors say it's time to turn the page.
People are so tired about hearing about this transition. It's been going on for almost 6 years now, and it's been the single focus of what council has been dealing with.
Milestone day for us, and yet again it validates that the SPS is here to stay, that we're moving forward.
But while the mayor may have lost today's legal fight, she turned up the heat on the political one, emphasizing increased costs caused by the transition for voters in Surrey this fall.
Which, may I add, is something that all of the NDP MLAs in Surrey and Councillor Annis, Bowes, Elford and Nagra are more than willing to find acceptable for our residents.
The province has set November 29th as the date Surrey Police will formally take over as the main police of jurisdiction. Mayor Locke says the city hasn't decided if it will appeal the court decision, but after a year and a half of fighting over policing, it's a good bet this story isn't done.
Coming up next, some First Nations Health Authority information has been made public online by hackers. Welcome back. Information hacked from BC's First Nations Health Authority is already up on the dark web. The Premier has now confirmed it's a ransomware attack, and as CTV's Penny Daflos reports, cyber criminals are a growing and difficult threat to stop.
The First Nations Health Authority, which provides BC-wide services and supports for Indigenous people, is being blackmailed by cybercriminals.
We have seen high-profile retailers like London Drugs be the victim of ransomware, and now the First Nations Health Authority.
The hackers have posted proof of what they've stolen online, including signatures from senior staff on 7-figure contracts with medical providers and agreements with First Nations governments. There are also samples of emails between providers and patients, including staff from Northern Health.
There's no evidence that the health authorities have been at all affected by the breach at the First Nations Health Authority.
They're experts at seeking out the most sensitive information to steal to make their extortion attempts more effective.
CTV News has consulted several cybersecurity experts on this hack. One of them pointed to sloppy coding on FNHA's website, and another pointed out similarities to the London Drugs ransomware breach. Both are different from the state-level attack on provincial systems.
An attacker that is a nation state is typically kind of carrying out a spy mission or a military mission, and they won't give up no matter how hard you defend yourself. The criminals behind the attack on the Health Authority and London Drugs are really just after money.
Internal government processes for core government have included upgrading our defenses.
Are you going to be committing to more resources, whether that's people, whether that's money for provincial agencies and related agencies like health authorities to try to combat what seems to be a rising threat?
For health authorities and those other agencies that are arm's length from government, especially First Nations Health Authority, our commitment is to provide the support that they need to respond to this and also to prevent these types of attacks from happening.
With 3 high-profile cyber incidents in the past month, companies and individual British Columbians should take it as a reminder of how vulnerable our information is. Penny Daflos, CTV News, Vancouver.
Concerned about losing their independence, BC trial lawyers are taking the province to court over changes to the way legal professions are governed. But as CTV's Ben Milcher reports, other lawyers think a ground-up overhaul of the system is overdue.
In its bid to make navigating legal services easier for British Columbians, the government has run afoul of lawyers. The new Legal Professions Act will bring notaries and paralegals into a new regulatory body responsible for work now done by the Independent Law Society of BC.
What it does is that it gives government more control over the legal profession, which is of great concern because in any functioning democracy, a legal profession is the only profession that can hold government accountable and uphold the rule of law.
The new board will include 5 people elected by lawyers and 4 appointed by the government, with paralegals and notaries and other appointees bringing the total to 17 directors. CTV News requested an interview with Attorney General Nikki Sharma to give her an opportunity to explain how she thinks this act will benefit British Columbians, but she did not make herself available. Some lawyers say creating a new regulator will provide an opportunity to modernize access to justice from the ground up.
A new regulator with a mindset of trying to regulate in a way that brings costs down and is open to new ideas would let everyone save money on legal fees.
The BC Trial Lawyers Association has already filed a court challenge to the new legislation, and the Law Society plans to do the same.
It's not what we would have hoped for as a first resort, it's a last resort, and we have continually implored the government to take some time to get this right, and regrettably, this is where we've had to land.
The Law Society and the trial lawyers want the BC Supreme Court to issue an injunction, pressing pause on the act while the matter winds its way through the courts, something that could take years. Ben Milger, CTV News, Vancouver.
A Surrey woman desperate to find her husband a new kidney is getting a boost from an Abbotsford hot dog vendor. He connects patients in need of organ transplants with people interested in becoming a living donor. He's had remarkable success so far, and as CTV's Shannon Patterson reports, it may be the father of two's best chance at getting a life-saving kidney transplant.
So this is Dave's dialysis machine.
Carla and Dave Jung's bedroom looks more like a hospital room.
This is where Dave puts all his dialysis solutions.
This equipment is what's keeping her husband alive.
Dave is a type 2 diabetic. We found out on our 10th wedding anniversary that he needed a kidney transplant and to start dialysis.
In the 2 years since that devastating news, the 43-year-old father has only gotten sicker.
His kidney function is below 5%. He has to have a transplant or else he's going to run out of time. My biggest fear is that my boys will grow up without a dad.
While the Jungs wait for Dave's name to move to the top of BC's kidney transplant list, Carla's doing everything she can to find her husband a living donor.
I have put his face all over the internet. I have put him on TikTok. I have put him on Facebook. I put him on Instagram. I had shirts made. We've tried basically anything we can possibly think of.
And that includes reaching out to the owner of an Abbotsford hot dog stand.
And what do you like on the dirty dog? Do you like spice, garlic, onions?
After Scully White donated a kidney to a customer at Lully's, he began posting stories of Fraser Valley residents in need of living donors.
We've never not succeeded. Every single person that's been on our list, we've found a kidney for.
And Dave Jung's story is about to be added to the list at Lully's.
We've spoken a few times, his wife and I, and I've met Dave before, and we're just going to be splattering his story all over Facebook and Instagram, and hopefully a living donor steps forward to help save him.
So all his hot dog stands will have a picture of him, and hopefully the right person will see it and be drawn to donate.
In their bedroom full of dialysis supplies is a symbol of that hope.
So these bags here are our hospital bags. We are packed, we are ready, we just need a call and a kidney, and then we're ready to go.
Shannon Patterson, CTV News, Surrey.
Turning to tonight's weather, the north coast is likely to be mainly cloudy with a low of 7 degrees. The Terrace-Kitimat area will get a chance of showers and their low will be at 6 degrees. And the Bulkley Valley and Lakes District is expected to see a chance of showers while their low is at 2 degrees. On the north coast, the upcoming week will see almost exclusively clouds plus rain while the high bounces between 8 and 11 degrees. In the Terrace-Kitimat area, the week for them will also keep dealing with rainy and cloudy days as the high shifts from 11 to 14 degrees. And in the Bulkley Valley and Lakes District, their week may consist of the odd flash of sun, but also mainly clouds and a bit of rain too, while the high goes from 18 to 12 degrees. Checking out the highways now, visit Drive BC for the latest and up-to-date conditions, and as always, drive safe out there. On Highway 16, there is utility work, bridge maintenance, road sweeping, construction work, crack sealing, paving operations, roadside brushing, and road maintenance work. Highway 118 has some shoulder maintenance. Highway 37 has some frost heaves. 37A has road maintenance work, some more road maintenance work on the Nishka Highway, and the Telegraph Creek Road has muddy sections and frost heaves. And this is what the roads were looking like this afternoon around the region from the view of the province's highway cams. Still to come, the owner of Ticketmaster is under fire from the U.S. government. Welcome back. As the wildfire season picks up in BC, people hit hard by last year's devastating fire in West Kelowna are still picking up the pieces. CTV's Abigail Turner spoke with a firefighter from Wilson's Landing whose home burnt to the ground. Now he's been told he has to move his trailer to where he's been living, even though it's on his own property.
The house was exactly right there.
Remnants of volunteer firefighter Arturo Peralta's home at Lake Okanagan Resort. His house is one of dozens that burned to the ground last summer during the massive, devastating West Kelowna wildfire.
Trying to get answers and see if we can get rebuilt, and the amount of red tape and the hurdles that we're getting to jump are too many.
Still, he continues to pay property tax and strata fees, but without a place to call home, he went to Mexico for the winter, returning 2 weeks ago.
And this was the stairs going up to the house. Right now, we have set up an RV on the parking lot.
A makeshift home while he waits to see if his strata will allow rebuilding.
I told the strata many months ago that as soon as I was coming into Canada, I needed to live in the resort because I don't have the funds to do any other way.
But he received a shocking phone call Thursday from his fire chief.
Called me up and he says, Art, I received this phone call from the RDCO and they're telling me that they are going to remove you from the resort within 24 hours.
CTV News contacted the Regional District of Central Okanagan, which confirmed it did receive a complaint about the unpermitted use of Peralta's trailer, but shared a different message. There would be no towing of his RV, instead education.
I'm running out of answers. I'm running out of options. So I'm doing something with my property.
Peralta Strata will vote Thursday night to decide if residents will accept the insurance policy's payout, about $350,000, a far cry from the purchase price, or choose to rebuild.
We have still our view.
Something he hopes the latter will be chosen. Abigail Turner, CTV News, Vancouver.
A new lawsuit could soon change how concert tickets are sold and reshape the live entertainment industry. As NBC's Ellis Barr explains, the U.S. government is going after Ticketmaster owner Live Nation, claiming that its monopoly is causing high ticket prices.
Like a line out of a Taylor Swift song.
It is time to break it up.
The Department of Justice filing a lawsuit seeking to break up Ticketmaster and its parent company Live Nation, alleging a monopoly over the live entertainment industry.
That conduct is anti-competitive and illegal.
No price gouging! It comes after years of consumer complaints over soaring ticket prices, high fees, and technical issues, culminating in a 2022 Taylor Swift ticket sale meltdown that left fans waiting for hours online.
We haven't used the bathroom, we haven't eaten,
and led to a Senate hearing.
I think there are major problems when you have a company that now controls, get this, 90% of Billboard Top 40 and sporting events of the ticketing.
U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland, along with 30 state and district attorneys general, accusing Live Nation Ticketmaster of illegally squashing competition to dominate not just ticket sales, but concert venue ownership, artist management, and concert promotions.
The result is that fans pay more in fees, artists have fewer opportunities to play concerts, smaller promoters get squeezed out.
Live Nation calls the allegations baseless, saying the Justice Department suit ignores key factors like increasing production costs, surging artist popularity, and 24/7 online ticket scalping, arguing the company offers fans, artists, and venues, quote, better prices and better services than they would receive if these complementary businesses were separated. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
And now we turn our attention to the stock markets. The Canadian dollar is up 16/10 of a cent. The price of gold is down $2.70. Oil is up 85 cents. Natural gas is down 14 cents. Aluminum is down $15. In Toronto, the TSX is up 120.08 points. The Venture Index is up 6.12. In New York, the Dow Jones is up 4.33, and Nasdaq is up 184.77. Still ahead, the Canucks players spoke to the media one final time this season. Welcome back. Still reeling from the heartbreak of losing Game 7 to the Edmonton Oilers, the Vancouver Canucks spoke to reporters for the final time this season. Players opened up about injuries, and management spoke on the team's future. As CTV's Kevin Chirac reports, while this season certainly had its highs, the team expects bigger things ahead.
I'm not happy sitting here today. Definitely not satisfied.
General Manager Patrick Alvin not holding back, setting a new standard for a Canucks team coming off its best season in more than a decade. Brock Besser, who missed Game 7 with a blood clot, says it stemmed from blocking a shot in Game 1 of the series, and it got worse from there.
Yeah, I would have done anything to be out there, and I asked if I could play and try and push them, but obviously the risks are too big.
But he says he's feeling better and expects a full recovery. Thatcher Demko, who hadn't played since the opening game of the playoffs when he suffered a knee injury, says he would have been ready if the Canucks made the conference final.
Yeah, I mean, probably, the hardest thing I've had to go through as a player.
All-star Elias Pettersson, who struggled in the second half of the season and the playoffs, said he was dealing with a knee injury and is ready for some R&R.
It will be nice to get a break from everything. Obviously, it's been a very noisy season in terms of contract and how shit I've been the last 3 months.
The team could look quite different next season. Key players, including Nikita Zadorov, Elias Lindholm, and Dakota Joshua, all need new contracts.
I want to stay, obviously. I want to be here and build off of what just happened. Obviously, there's more things that go into it that are out of my control.
It's only between my agent and Patrick. And obviously, I love here. Hopefully, we can work something out.
My preference is to keep them, but I'm also going to find a way to keep them where money going to make sense for us.
Alvin says he's also looking to bring in more offense in a top six forward. With the Canucks limited with the league's salary cap, changes will be coming this summer. The question is, how big? Kevin Chirac, CTV News, Vancouver.
That's all our news for now. From everyone at CFTK-TV News, I'm Cal Maslin. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.